All right, guys, I have Yudhvir with me over here. Hi, Yudhvir. It's been what, 2 weeks now since you got the 2021 Himalayan?
Yes, hello Abhinav. I mean, we went together, so you remember the dates more than me. It's
Yeah,
true.
well, we the last time we were in front of a camera, we were picking up this motorcycle from Patiala. So
Absolutely.
you have done how many kilometers in 2 weeks now?
So it's 800 kilometers because 320 kilometers was something from Patiala back here, and then additional 500 kilometers maybe.
And you even got it serviced?
Yes, because the initial service is when they change the oil is at around 500 kilometers. So I got it done.
Right. So if do you remember how much did the service cost, the first service?
It was hardly an amount. It was probably in the range of 700 bucks, maybe
They
touching
just
700.
changed the engine oil,
Yeah,
oil
because
filter.
absolutely. So these two components, and they cleaned up certain stuff. And I asked them not to play around with the rest of the bike because there's hardly anything which was happening to the bike. It was absolutely okay.
Okay. And what are your first impressions of the motorcycle?
So your impressions are actually um, about your expectations also.
Yeah.
So you set in certain expectations and you get them right is where you feel happy. And sometimes you set your expectations wrongly, and then it's a mismatch. So in my case, I was absolutely clear. It's a heavier bike. It is not like a motocross, which I told you earlier also. It's a master of too many things, but not too many things. And it's an enduro style motorcycle. So I had a GS and I wanted a bike which was something similar, but not a motocross. So with those expectations, absolutely, this is a bike which after a long period of time, when you say it puts a smile on your
Yeah.
face, kind
Yeah.
of an expression, is what holds true for this bike.
So when you rode it back on the highway from Patiala to Delhi, what speeds were you comfortable at? Because again, it's a new bike, very difficult to put those things in perspective. But were you able to gauge anything in terms of what speed is good for this motorcycle on the highway? Where does it feel comfortable? Anything like that?
So initially when you buy a motorcycle, you are getting used to the motorcycle,
Yeah.
right? And the motorcycle itself is very stiff because its parts have not worked ever. So it's kind of very stiff from all the sides.
Right.
Everything feels unnatural a little bit. So while we were riding back, we were also to run in the motorcycle, so we couldn't rev it too much. But initially, I was doing a 65, 70, and then over a period of 70, 80 kilometers, the engine started, giving way to more RPMs,
Right.
and we could manage easily 80s. I touched 80, 85. Never took the RPMs more than 4,000 though. And it was very, very comfortable. One of the reason is while you are not riding too fast, it obviously doesn't drain you down. And seems to me at my age I could last a little longer if I do a slower speed. So we took almost like only two breaks probably
Yeah.
that day,
Yeah.
doing those 320 kilometers on a brand new motorcycle on a very, very hot day
Yeah.
and things like that. Once was for refueling and the other one was just a break. So you remember, and we were absolutely fresh when
Yeah.
I landed back. So initial impressions of this motorcycle is you sit on it and don't try to race it
Yeah.
and just keep going. So this is how the expectations should be set on this bike. And if you set your
Yeah.
expectations like this, you'll be happy.
Yeah, if you think of it, if you start comparing it to a KTM, it's not the motorcycle for you then. It's an easy going motorcycle where the ergonomics are very comfortable, they're very generous. You feel comfortable, it gives a big bike feel. You sit on it and you just travel distance on this
Yeah,
bike.
so I missed it out. So the seating posture and the ergonomics of the bike is obviously spot on, and you would
Yeah.
have heard about it in most of the reviews,
Yeah,
which are
because
about.
people have talked about this bike for years now. We are new to this
Yeah,
motorcycle.
it's been there for a long, long time. So all I can sum it up is what I thought about this bike is what it is delivering to me.
Yeah.
So absolutely fine with it.
Anything on the motorcycle that you think needs improvement?
So obviously, the bike is a little heavier. So I do not know how to address that one. That's one part of it, which I feel could have helped drastically. The second one is on the gearing side. Also, it's the gear ratios are set very close, so you have to keep shifting if you have to
Okay.
find out, your sweet spot to roll the bike on a 4,000 3,500 mark.
Right.
So those are certain things, and obviously it is not a very premium motorcycle, so the components, the feel in terms of the clutch being
Yeah, but then
pressed,
you're only paying 2.5 lakh rupees for it.
so I mean, as I mentioned, it's all a balance of your expectations and delivery. I would not say that I would play around too much in terms of modifying this motorcycle. This is
Yeah, it
absolutely
doesn't need a lot of work. So, but when we talk about modifications, you have made some basic additions to the motorcycle.
so nothing on the performance side. There are certain guards which have been put in.
For example, these, wrap around.
Yes, you remember last time when we were doing the trails,
Yeah,
so there were a lot of these bushes which kept hitting.
yeah,
So I just put in these ones, and obviously I didn't cover them
yeah, because
because
it's
it's so
hot.
hot
It's,
these days.
yeah,
Yeah. And then obviously these guards which are from Royal Enfield. There's another cover on the oil cooler. There's something which covers the master cylinder, which also makes it look a little okay. Apart from that, I don't think so. We've not even taken out the rubbers from the.
I did that before the ride today because I just thought it'll give me a little bit more grip.
Yeah. It cannot be simply pulled, I guess. There's a
There's a bolt on it,
securing
10 mm bolt.
yeah.
So you were telling me a little bit about the mirrors that at speed. What happens with these mirrors is they tend to fold
Oh,
inside.
yes. I probably read about it or heard somebody say that as well. Maybe the ball joint is not very, very strong. So when the vibrations or the air hits it from the backside, there's a tendency for it to come down.
Yeah,
And you keep
yeah.
adjusting it. So it's not a problem with the left one, but the right one, I mean, yes, obviously.
And you're not very tall, but you're about average Indian height, 5'7" or so. So in terms of the wind blast, does it hit you on the chest? Does it hit you on the helmet? How is the wind blast on this bike?
I would say very, very comfortable.
Yeah.
Yes, on my height, my kind of body, the legs and the other body half, I am able to get into the bike and I'm easily able to cruise at 100. 100 is, earlier I used to think this bike has a sweet spot of 80,
Right.
but 100 is all day.
It'll hold 100 all day.
It'll hold 100 all day, and if it's an emergency situation or of an overtaking stuff, 120 also comes easy once
Okay.
the engine has run in and it's much smoother and you made it to your kind of style of riding.
Okay.
So this was a surprise because I always used to wonder that this bike would be capable of doing 80. So
Yeah.
80 is too smooth.
80 is too smooth. You start feeling sleepy at 80 on this bike.
So 100 is okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I also felt.
So brakes, probably you would have heard about it.
Yeah,
This,
brakes are not good.
so
I did not like the
effective.
brakes of the bike.
So the rear one is still okay, but the front one was very, very spongy and obviously, didn't had anything to stop.
Right.
So I had put in the EBC brake pads
Okay.
and they
Fully sintered?
Yeah, fully sintered. I do not know. I mean, the ones which fit onto the Enfield was
Okay.
something which was available. I had put in straight away, and it works.
Hmm.
Actually works. So there's a big difference, and you're more confident now, probably going at 100 because earlier you had to avert
Right.
rather than stopping behind somebody. So you had to find a way to escape rather than go and stop. With EBC brake pads, you can rely on stopping the motorcycle.
Okay. And now, this is something that a lot of people probably would not be able to, give perspective on. You are a GS 1200 rider. You own a GS. You own a Street Triple 765 RS. You've owned a few motorcycles over the years. You still have your X Pulse. How would you compare this motorcycle, keeping the GS in mind? You've been riding GS long distance. You've been riding GS on the trails. Now you have the Himalayan. So where does that fit in?
So first of all, these are two different motorcycles, as you can see it. So there's no comparison, obviously. But broadly speaking, if you were to speak about a comparison with GS, GS has got shitloads of power. Though it's a heavy, big built motorcycle, it's got enormous amount of power, and you have to learn to utilize that power. Likewise, this motorcycle is underpowered. So you have to learn to manage a motorcycle which is underpowered.
Right.
So these are, both extremes of of an adventure motorcycle where one is enormous in terms of power.
Hmm.
You know, you can just slide it away on a corner. And this one probably, you know, you would just bog down on a corner because you left the RPMs and there's hardly any power left in.
Yeah.
And it's a long stroke motorcycle. It'll make that shitty noise or put. It will not give you a good feeling. And over a period of time, you have to learn to manage a
Right.
motorcycle with less power as well. So these are two very different things.
Okay.
In the end, you gain to learn something on a lower powered motorcycle. And what more can be said about a single, you know, the kind of noise and rhythm it makes.
Yeah.
It's absolutely a charm, you know. Gives you that that feel of very olden and
Yeah.
it's
Reminds you of a simpler time.
simpler times, you know, where
Yeah.
the bike makes a noise and just keeps going, and you know the sound vibrates and reverberates around you. So
Yeah.
it's a very good feel sometimes.
Yeah.
You may not get that on a GS. GS is like a very modern sounding machine,
Yeah.
even though it's a twin, but you know, still it still doesn't sound like a single. Single is a single. You know?
Single
It's a charm.
sounds beautiful. So now you mentioned that this motorcycle feels a little underpowered. Now I agree with that, but what would you say about the torque that this motorcycle makes?
Okay, so you know, as I mentioned, sometimes because when the bike is not so much powered, you have to learn to manage that power.
Right.
So this bike has loads of torque,
Hmm.
but it comes at a certain RPM and under certain conditions, and you have to remain in that situation. So you have to catch the rhythm of the motorcycle and you have to flow with it in order to remain in that band. And once you are there, then this motorcycle has loads and loads of torque.
Okay.
So you just, you know, if you are into a situation where you're not aware about the road and you're on a single track and trail, you can't see much ahead, put it in second gear and just let it roll.
Yeah.
It's so much of torque, it'll keep moving, going on. And this is an easy motorcycle to learn and manage. You know, if somebody is not used to a trail riding, brings in this motorcycle, it would be much easier for him to have an experience rather than, you know, either coming on a very heavy motorcycle,
Yeah.
an adventure ADV, or coming on a, you know, on an X-Pulse kind of a very light motorcycle,
Yeah.
because the light motorcycle would keep leaving him and the bigger one would keep him under stress of managing,
That's true.
you know, the big one. So this one probably can make you happy, you know, and easy to manage and to experience the trails.
I think this motorcycle goes with your philosophy of riding, which is to try and maintain a very smooth line and keep a certain pace, and you stick to that pace. You flow with that pace. So you were telling me that you don't let go of the throttle completely. You brake along with being on the throttle. So there is no sudden change in speed. It's a very gradual increase and a very gradual let off of speed.
So, you would have heard about trail braking, which a lot of people do, and in racing you hear about it quite often. I never knew about it, but when I started riding these low-powered motorcycles, I understood that if you let go of the throttle completely, then to pick it up is a loss of time, and at the same time that shitty feeling where the engine bogs down and has to come back again, and you realize that you are on a very, very underpowered motorcycle. So what I do generally is I hold on to the throttle and I press on to the front brake.
Okay.
And because the transmission is connected, the wheel is connected to the engine, you would now start finding that the engine starts bogging down and you're pressing on the brake.
Okay.
So you're trying to bring the speed low by pushing on to the brake, and when the engine is bogging down, you keep increasing the throttle a little bit.
Right.
Okay?
So the revs are
And
still
you
high.
You can still hear it. So the
Right.
revs are higher, and if you are able to judge in that time, and you are able to make a decision, just let go of the brake,
Okay.
and this would help you out not to lose that time in terms of completely letting go of the throttle, the engine getting down, the underpowered motorcycle downshifting, and then whole cycle being repeated.
Okay.
So this is something which helps. I also use it in heavy duty traffic where you are behind somebody and you don't want to just let go of the throttle. So just bogue the engine, make it more tight, and at one point in time where you find you make a decision to go left or right, just let go of the brake.
Okay.
So you kind of trying to keep the motorcycle in its sweet spot.
Right. You try and keep it in its power band.
And when you're riding fast motorcycles, it comes naturally to you that your reflexes
Yeah.
and your tendency to look way ahead
Yeah.
improves drastically because you're doing speeds
Yeah.
which are quite
Yeah.
high. When you come down to a lower powered motorcycle, you use those
Yeah.
instincts which tells you to look ahead, and when you look ahead you judge and you don't let the RPMs drop.
Right.
You actually manage it only with the brakes. Okay, sometimes people feel maybe I'm burning the clutch right now, or what am I doing? I don't think so. Nothing happens because
Right.
otherwise you're going to drop the throttle, you're going to change the gear, you're going to press in the clutch, you're going to again release it, you will give more throttle, you're going to roughen up the clutch somehow. So you're avoiding all that simply by pressing in the brake, trying to make the bike compact. It will hold on more and just release it.
Right.
when you need it.
Now, you were telling me a little bit about, the clutch feeling a little hard on this motorcycle and then you working on the clutch wire. Could you elaborate on that?
So what happens is obviously I do not know, but technically speaking, the amount of strength you need to disengage the clutch is equivalent to the kind of holding pressure the clutch has.
Right.
It's the springs which are going to hold it when you release. So those springs, if they carry that amount of torque from the clutch, they'll be harder in case it is designed in such a way that it has to pass on that power. And the same amount of thing you have to actually put in the same amount of strength in order to release it.
Right.
So there are one or two things which probably one has to do in such a situation. One is try to see that the cable is routed in such a way that it doesn't have any kinks, so then you can take out any of the mechanical losses where the wire is rubbing with the external sheath. You can lubricate in order to get whatever is the best possible. And in the end, there is a company called as ProSpec, I guess. So they make a small attachment which gets attached in between to this cable with a short one. What it does is it has got a fulcrum and a lever, so it uses very intelligently the physics in order to bring down your effort by almost like 50%.
Yeah. Just makes the pull of the clutch much
Very
easier,
easy, yeah.
very lighter.
And in the end, it's all about getting used to, so it's fine then.
So, to sum everything up, you're happy with the motorcycle?
Absolutely, right now, as the honeymoon lasts, you're happy, and then the real life also begins beyond that.
Right. And what about the turning radius, etc.?
Oh, absolutely.
Because I saw you were doing circles at the toll.
Yes. So I am used to doing circles and a little bit of enduro thing, because once you own a GS, you have to learn that, because that's a heavy motorcycle, and to take a turn on that motorcycle is too difficult to roll
Right.
it, off the saddle. So it's better that you learn something in order to manage the motorcycle. So that helps.
Right.
In order to bring the learnings of a GS on a motorcycle like this. But I tell you, this GS is far more balanced even than this small motorcycle.
Yeah.
It's amazing, which is such a big motorcycle, and this one is lighter than that motorcycle, and you would think this is much easier, but maneuverability, that motorcycle still
Right.
is something which is created, very, very differently.
Okay. That pretty much sums it up. Thank you so much.
Yes, it's been a
And
long
hopefully we'll go on a ride on this bike, the Himalayan that I have, and this Himalayan. Let's try and take them to Sach Pass.
Yes, definitely. As the season opens and when our plans are finalized.
All right. Thank you so much,
Thank
Yudhvir.
you, Abhinav. Pleasure.
Have a nice day, guys. Bye bye.